The Model Health Show is presented to you by Shawn Stevenson with RareGem Productions. For more information, visit theshawnstevensonmodel.com.
Welcome to the Model Health Show. This is fitness and nutrition expert Shawn Stevenson, here with my boss of a co-host and producer, Jade Harrell. What's up, Jade?
Watch me now. Watch me now.
How you doing today, Jade?
I am lovinaculent.
Lovinaculent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. I've never heard that before. What is that?
That's loving and immaculate.
You blend it so well.
Thank you.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
Lovinaculent.
Lovinaculent. Exactly.
Fantastical.
It's not just love, it's immaculate.
Well, today, Jade.
Yes.
With love.
Okay.
We got to take the gloves off today.
All right.
We got to get into it because we got some
in.
serious issues that we need to discuss.
Uh-oh.
There are a lot of our world family members out there that are struggling with getting their body in the place they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to
Okay.
talk about what's going on in the inner game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the outer game is easy. The steps to getting fit are not hard.
Okay.
All right? It's the inner game. So we're really going to take the gloves off, like I said, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about specifically why you can't lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And I'm going to, of course, come from a compassionate place, but I'm not going to hold back. We're really going to talk
Ooh.
about these issues because I'm sick of it. You know, I've seen so many great people, smart people, who think that they want to get in shape, and they set out to do it, but they fail. And we're going to talk about those real reasons why. So to kick things off, we're going to touch on a subject that we talked about in a previous show about mirror neurons.
Get it, Shawn.
All right. So we've recently discovered a new, what they're calling the social brain. All right, the social brain. And a big component of this social brain is the fact that we have these mirror neurons. And what these mirror neurons do is they simulate anything that you witness. Auditory, what you sense, what you see, what you touch, all of that gets simulated. Even if you witness somebody else touch something, your brain is simulating you doing it.
Wow.
So we see this with children all the time. My 2-year-old is like a cookie cutter repeat of what his older brother does. You know, his older brother doesn't sit him down and teach him how to do these things. He just watches him do it. So now the 2-year-old, since he was 1, you know, he's been running around the house pretending to play baseball.
Oh, wow.
And he's only just watched his brother play baseball on the field. And he comes home and he's squatting down and he's pitching.
How cute.
And how that's able to happen is these mirror neurons.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, even as you're listening to my voice right now, there's a part of your brain that's simulating you saying these words.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is so powerful. And this is also on the more of the negative aspect. And we're going to touch on the negative, but I'm always going to put the positive twist to it because there's a gift within all this stuff.
Right.
On the negative, if you're watching violence, if you're witnessing hate, the gossip, just the grime and grit of the world today, every day on a daily basis, you're watching the news, which is really the blues.
Real
the news is the
grimy.
old.
Right.
You know, same old story
Same
every
old
day.
Story. The old.
If that's where you're going to get your information about the world, you're not going to hear anything but bad news all the time.
That's right.
And you're programming your mind with that because your brain is literally everything that you're witnessing. It's simulating you doing that thing. If you're playing violent video games all the time, your brain is simulating you killing a lot of people. You know, it's very, very powerful stuff. And it's not saying that video games are bad. It's just understanding that this is what's going on in your brain. All right. This is how we're wired up.
That makes
And these
so
mirror
much
neurons
sense.
are really important evolutionary advantage that we have. You know, so we can watch things, we can witness things, and our brains get wired to do them very quickly.
And
it's
we've seen
amazing.
this in many variations over the years, you know, the different kinds of learning styles as well, or even when they were teaching different animals how to do certain things, they would do that. It's not like they could speak, but they could watch and then emulate those motions. And we're talking from animals that swim to those
It's so
that
funny
climb.
you should bring that up because that's how the mirror neurons were discovered, like we talked about in that
Is that
past
right?
show. It was some Italian scientists, and they were doing experiments with this trained monkey. And whenever they hooked the monkey up to the brainwave reading technology, and whenever the monkey would get a peanut, a certain part of his brain would fire. You know, he'd grab the peanut and he'd eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And they could see it fire whenever he ate the peanut. So the monkey was still hooked up to the technology, but they weren't studying anything right now. But an assistant, a lab assistant, picked up the peanut and ate it, and the monkey's brain fired as if he did it.
See, there you
That's
go.
how they discovered this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so awesome that you brought that up.
Well, you know, my mirror neurons were sensing that you were.
So why are we talking about this today? It's the fact that you can't lose weight because you are not in the right environment for that to be a part of your life.
Mm.
You can't lose weight. We're going to talk about, first let's talk about the micro environment. On the micro scale, everybody says this stuff, you know, like keep it out of your house, you know, birds of a feather. So keep it out of your house. So the things that you have in your house in the first place, if you've got the snacks there in your environment, your brain knows, you know, you're constantly going to be on.
That's the truth. Oh, my goodness.
You're constantly going to be playing defense instead of offense because your brain knows that those potato chips are in there.
And it keeps repeating that to you. You know those chips are in there, don't you?
Just grab a snack.
You know they're in there.
Just grab a snack.
Do you hear that? I hear chip. They called your name. Right.
Crispity, crustity. Right.
Salty, greasy.
And then also birds of a feather. So in our micro environment, who are we around? You know, who's in our circle? And what they say
we
is,
live in America.
You take the average weight of your 5 closest friends, take the average, and that's probably your weight.
Shut up.
The same thing with your finances. You take your 5 closest friends, add those up, divided by 5. That's probably what your annual income is.
Just give me a second to tweet that. That is cool. Hold on. I love it.
Please understand, what's going on in your microenvironment is really going to influence who you are as a person and the results that you get as far as your weight loss. If you've constantly got to battle against what's going on in your microenvironment because the people are not supporting you, or you've got bad food around because, you know, it's for your kids, or you've got a situation where, you know, nobody else in your family wants to exercise, so you got to be the one to break the pattern of everybody kind of sitting around and you're out exercising by yourself. It's going to be hard. And this is a big reason why you can't lose weight.
Well, a big reason, too, then, Shawn, why we struggle with this is because our microenvironment in this culture is totally contrary to that. It's totally the opposite. Turn on your TV after 10 o'clock, and what is the majority of advertisement and messages that are coming your way? It's either eat, drug, or friends. But, you know, you drive down the road. What are the images? What are the things? So we're constantly receiving. We'll see that big old juicy burger that with the fake tomatoes and lettuce.
Right. You're bringing up the macro environment right now. That's the macro environment. So the stuff that our society as a whole is not built on a system that's conducive to you getting the results you want.
Okay.
You know, everywhere we go, unless you live in the certain pockets of the planet, like, you know, California has a lot of healthy type of neighborhoods where you can get all kinds of wonderful fresh foods and things like that. More and more places like that are popping up, but it's in the minority by far. It's so little that it's almost negligible to even talk about. So the macro environment, you know, we've got the neighborhood that I grew up in. There was, you know, liquor store.
Oh, see, don't even get me started with the
fast
block.
food,
don't get me
burger
started.
place,
don't get me started.
fried chicken
don't
place.
Get me started.
Chinese food.
Don't get me started.
But these aren't Chinese restaurants.
No.
These were what we call the Chinamen, which is, you know, of kind of a, I don't know, maybe derogatory thing.
Please forgive us, brothers and sisters in Asia.
It's a spot where, you know, you can go get a box of whole order of pork fried rice for like $2.
And you've never seen a texture on a piece of pork ever that looked like that.
Right.
Like, what part of the pork is it?
And the thing is, you know, most of the people who were running those businesses, they weren't eating that food, you know, but it was right there in our neighborhoods, and people were going to it in droves just because it's there. It's just how it's all set up.
Well, then it smells good. It's convenient. You might be in a food desert where you can't get much of anything really, except for something out of can in a box.
The grocery stores themselves. I mean, there was like one in our area, a Schnucks, but then is, you know, Aldi's and things like that. And, you know, it's just, and then once I got that experience of going to the, you know, the quote county and seeing like, whoa, there's all these
Lights.
big supermarkets with all this fresh produce,
Right.
and
They have vegetables.
right. But even in those parts of the neighborhood or in the city, there's still fast foods on every corner.
They're on the parking lot of
Right.
the grocer.
I recently saw there was a McDonald's in the hospital.
Yeah.
In the hospital.
Make it easy.
Right?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Eliminate the
It's
middleman.
Like, it's such an insult.
Eat this and then go get your heart transplant.
I really want you to understand,
That's
everybody,
rough.
today, is that you can't lose weight because your environment, the society, is built to keep you fat.
And unhealthy.
How are you going to break out of that when everything is working against you, seemingly? But the truth is, if you believe in something greater, that hopefully, whatever you might call it, but God is for you, then nothing can be against you.
That's right.
If you really get yourself outside of your limited paradigm that looks like all this struggle, if you understand, and instead of, let's take it out of the spiritual realm into the more scientific realm, but it's still kind of spiritual, is Einstein saying that the most important decision that you make as a human being is whether you live in a friendly or a hostile universe. That is the most important fundamental decision that you make every day. And this goes to the conversation that we had with Daniel Vitalis.
Well, whether we believe we live.
Right. That's your belief. This is the conversation we had with Daniel Vitalis about many people are walking around with this underlying subconscious paranoia, is what it's called, that bad things are going to happen, that everything is against you, that no matter what, things are going to fail. That the common saying is shizzle happens. Shizzle happens, right? Versus this other subconscious belief that you can adopt. It's a choice that you make called pronoia. It's the opposite of paranoia. It's pronoia. And this is the idea and the understanding, the subconscious belief that good things are going to happen.
That's right. Sizzling, sensational, amazing happens.
That everything is working for you.
Yeah.
All right, that life is good. Good things are going to happen no matter what. Something good is going to happen, and then instead of thinking something bad must happen, something better is going to happen. So it's taking on this idea, this underlying belief, and you have to work on this because this is something that's not programmed. This is counterintuitive to what we've been deeply ingrained within our society. So you have to work on this. It's a constant practice to adopt this concept of pronoia, but it will change your life. When you really believe that life is for you, that good things are that good things have your back, that life has your back. Even if a minor setback comes, that something great is right around the corner. It's just you. I see you smiling over there. You know it.
Yeah. We had that today.
Yes.
There's a song. It's a kid's song, but I want you to share it in the show notes. That the woman sings something good's gonna happen today, and she's whistling along, and just that's kind of like the mantra, the chant, the affirmation. Something good is going to happen today.
We're putting it in the show notes.
There we go.
Because all of us, like, music is very powerful for training, even how we learn the alphabets. It's in song, But music is very powerful. And it's another thing to be conscious of. What are you listening to?
Yeah.
Well,
you said, through all of our senses. Yeah. That's what's going to stimulate our senses to respond. Our neurons are in all of that.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. So you're not in the right environment. It's why you can't lose weight.
So here's what we do.
Thank you.
We work on that microenvironment. We take our little section of this universe, our little section of reality, and start to create it in the way that the greatest version of ourselves, our higher self, would have it be, right? So we make sure that we have good people in our life that are supportive of us getting in shape and being healthy. We make sure, and whether or not it's like physically somebody, you make sure every day and I do this every day. Every day I wake up and I have something inspirational, positive. I might watch on YouTube or reading something to start my day with something that affirms my belief that life is good.
Nice.
Okay. So right now you live in a wonderful time where you don't have to physically be in the presence. You can literally put on your iPod, listen to this show,
That's right.
Hop on YouTube, read a book. There's so many great resources to start to immerse yourself in all this uplifting information, making sure that in your microenvironment, there's nothing but healthy food there. There are no goldfish crackers. There are no SpaghettiOs. You know, you've got real food in your house, in your home. And also just having more vitality in your space. That feng shui thing.
Yeah. Put some plants in your place.
Real.
Get some plants in there.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And even if you're not
Absolutely.
a green thumb and they die, get another plant.
Right.
Keep going.
So that's where I want to start with.
Love
We're
that.
starting with a bigger thing here, talking about the mirror neurons and starting to understand that your brain is wired up to replicate what you're exposed to. So if you're not exposed to health continuously in this world today, you can forget about it. This is why you can't lose weight.
That is my mission, is to keep creating environments of that for folks to get.
All right. So there's
Nice.
round one.
Right.
There's round one. The gloves are off.
Can I add some sound effects? I've been waiting to use sound effects for a while.
I don't know. We'll see what the people think. We'll add them in. All right. That's all for today, everybody. I really appreciate you so much and taking the time out to be a part of this with me and being your own model, you know, setting the precedent for the people around you. That's what really, really makes me happy and gives me the passion to be able to do what I do. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Shawn.
And make sure for more after the show, you head over to theshawnstevensonmodel.com. That's where you can find the show notes. And if you got any questions or comments, make sure to let me know. And please head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and let everybody know that our show is awesome and you're loving it. And I read all the comments, so please leave me a comment there. And take care, everybody. I promise to keep giving you more powerful, empowering, great content to help transform your life.
Take care.